Hello there, the name's Dvalarogg. Have you ever been so completely absorbed by something to the point where it blindsides all of your other recreational activities and interests? It's a tremendous feeling to be that into something, albeit a little frustrating when you forget about your other plans as a result. This exact thing happened to me a few weeks ago. Holocure, Save the Fans, is a 2D action roguelite in the relatively newly formed genre of survivor games, with examples such as Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, Brotato, and Vampire Survivors. KU, an animator and video game developer from the US, started development on the game in February of 2022, releasing it in June of the same year on itch.io, and a year later on Steam. The game is free to play, as it is a fan project inspired by the personalities of Hololive production. The plot is basically that Vtubers exist, they have fans, some evil entity takes control of the fans, and now the Vtubers have to mentally liberate the fans with violence. Not the deepest story, but at least it makes more sense than Bioshock Infinite. The gameplay consists of a simple formula of surviving a constant stream of enemies from all angles, by virtue of the items and weapons you obtain by leveling and picking up holocrates. While the initial pool of weapons seems rather small, there's actually much more under the hood, as you can combine weapons into more powerful Weebly armaments called collabs. Meaning you can turn a fan beam and a plug-type Asakoko into a torrent of hellfire.
By fire be purged! But wait! There's more!
In update 0.6, they also added a new form of weapons called super collabs. These are obtained by combining certain collab weapons with a specific item. So if we take our Dragonfire and combine it with a Gorilla's Paw, we get Holy Fire. This procedure also requires a Golden Mallet, which can only drop once per game, limiting you to only one super collab per run, which I think is a sensible limitation as super collabs are extremely powerful and they run the risk of invalidating the potency of regular collabs. One of the key elements that draws me in is the progression of power throughout your run isn't just seen numerically, like how your stats or damage numbers increase. It's very much visually evident as your attacks get larger, more rapid, have additional projectiles, or take on entirely new visuals. As such, your run will go from this to this. While the arsenal of weapons and items is fairly impressive, the real showstopper is the character roster, as it currently sports a total of 38 playable characters. Yeah, that is a lot of waifu by pixel. They are all set apart from one another with a unique main weapon, a special ability, and 3 passive skills. Having played all of them, most of the characters do play in their own unique way, and their passive skills does allow for some unique combos with certain equipment. For instance, the character Yosura Mel has a passive that spawns a bat whenever she steals life from an enemy, so equipment such as Eldritch Horror and Nurse's Horns will also trigger this effect. A less obvious combo is that Genghis Khan has a healing effect that counts as consuming food. As such, Acerola Juice, which grants the next 8 of your attack's lifesteal, will now constantly refresh itself, meaning nearly all attacks will have lifesteal, which in return results in a swarm of bats being spawned. Similarly, the character Tokinosora, whose passive idle healing pulses damage to nearby enemies whenever she's healed, leads to equipment that are meant to strengthen recovery, also enhances her offensive capability. Aki Rosenthal can utilize her passive that deals damage to any enemy whenever a status effect is applied, to make weapons that do just that even more potent. Shirakami Fubuki has a passive that increases her attack by the same amount as her speed gains, meaning mediocre items like Ninja Headband and Energy Drink are actually really strong in her hands. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is that a potato wearing sunglasses? Or does every character have this kind of combo potential?
Nope.
Only about half the roster can perform these synergies. However, that doesn't mean those other characters aren't viable or fun to play. For instance, Roboko-san has great endgame potential due to her high level passive, which grants her 1.2% attack stat per level, and 5% crit chance for every 10 levels. Kaela Kowalska has a similar benefit which she can harvest or drop by enemies to augment her weapons, making her another solid choice for the game's endless mode. Upon starting the game, you may realize that something seems off compared to other people playing it. You're moving slower, your pickup radius is abysmally small, and enemies are far more resilient. This is because there is a slew of roster-wide upgrades you can purchase via Holo coins, a currency that is acquired by defeating enemies, beating sages, and a few other means. The store in which you purchase these upgrades is also the place where you can buy your waifus in a gacha system of randomized drops. It's like loot boxes, but without predatory monetization. However, grinding the vast amount of Holo coins needed through regular play can get a little tedious. Not to mention your item slots will likely be occupied by items that increase coin drops. And it seems KU realized this as well. Enter Holo House, a small hub where you can fish, cultivate vegetables, cook said fish and veggies into delicious buff food, decorate the house interior, and even recruit fans to farm coins for you. Now, while you can make some dosh from fishing, the real cash cow here is the management board. The fans you hire will farm Holo coins for you over time, even when you leave Holo House and play the regular game. Even though the fans all agree that sleep is for the weak, they do require feeding. As they are fed, they also accumulate experience and level up, making them more efficient and have longer farm duration. In addition, you the player also get experience and can level up as a manager, allowing you to manage more fans at once as well as hiring higher quality fans. Initially, it's going to take a while to get good value out of your farming fans, but eventually the payout is going to be in such vast excess that you won't even have to concern yourself with taking items that increase coin drops.
Money, 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 those money, money, young money, money, bitches, those money, young cash, bitches, those cash, money, money, cash, young bitches, money, money, money.
All in all, I would say I'm a fairly big fan of this element.
Ow!
The one thing I did not expect to spend as much time on as I ended up doing was the fishing. If you want full completion, you're gonna need to catch at least one shiny fish. The first catch, however, is that you need at least the turkey rod to even have a chance to catch one, but the golden rod improving the odds slightly. However, the main issue though is that the chance for you to hook one is really low, at 1 in 701 with the turkey rod and 1 in 561 with the golden rod. Now, the game is supposed to balance this out with increasing the catch rate in accordance to your successful catches in a row. But this means that if you goof up a catch, you'll have to start your combo all over. The reason I said suppose is because it still took me well over 1,000 casts just to have 2 of them bite. If you do happen to hook one, you'll be served with a maxed out difficulty rhythm game corresponding to the level of the fish you hook.
Alright, yeah, baby! That's what I'm talking about! That's what we've been waiting for! Woo!
I've done my fair share of fishing in video games. Got everything in Nier Automata, Okami, and even World of Warcraft. And believe me, patience isn't the issue for me. It's the rhythm element. I'm just not very good at them. And they demand constant attention, meaning that this is not the sort of grind where you can essentially turn off your brain and watch a movie while you do it. You know, early on in my time with this game, I considered going for true 100%, which would include getting all of the shiny fish. Whereas now, I feel more like,
No, no, you can't! I won't do it! I won't do it! You can't make me! You can't make me!
Aside from the fish though, I went for it all. I bought everything from the furniture vendor, unlocked every single achievement, collected all character costumes, and beat all 7 stages with all 38 characters. So at long last, I can take a break from this game.